Out of the smog of human nature. Xiefeng. Under the smog, the sky is dim, the ground is low and deep, the sun is weak, the mountains are gloomy, and the rivers are crying. The species are weeping. Everything is desolate, melancholy, and sorrowful. If you don't get out of the smog, your spirit will become weakened, your soul will become wearisome, your body will become sick, and your future will be like a desert. The deepest smog is the smog of human nature. Under the smog of human nature, psychology will be deviant, the truth will be twisted, good and evil will be disguised. The status quo will be distorted, people will be at a loss and won't know what to do, humanity will get lost, and their direction will become confused. Falsehoods, evil, and ugliness will become rampant and unimpeded. Truth, goodness, and beauty will be shackled. With a little carelessness, people will fall into the wrong path, fall into hell, cause a sad ending since a single slip may cause lasting sorrow. The smog of humanity originates from the pollution of human nature. This nature is pure, bright, and spotless, like a mirror. But people have to eat, wear clothing, have shelter, live, grow old, become sick, and die. People need to be safe, be respected, and to take care of their blood relationships, to show their ability and talents, to glorify their ancestors, and to leave behind a good name forever. Therefore, people will not be at peace. They must struggle, pursue money, power, status, fame and fortune, and beauty. In this way, the mirror is crept by dust, human nature is polluted, anxiety, worries, resentment, anger, fear, contending, confrontation, illegality, and other sentiments arise, forming a smog over human nature. Under the smog of human nature, chaos clusters and contradictions multiply, confrontation is intensified, and people will be trapped in the smog of tornadoes, and it will become hard to distinguish directions. Because people are impetuous, it is difficult for them to be quiet. Every day, they are involuntarily submerged in a sea of countless information, drifting along, rushing around like ants on a hot pan. With their moods swinging and their thinking confused, they struggle in a haggard state of mind. For a while, they are ecstatic and in high spirits, seeming to have become the masters of life. For a while, they complain and resent the heaven and earth, fall into a mixture of grievances and anger, and become listless and depressed. For a while, they chuckle to themselves. For a while, they get dispirited. For a while, they feel like they know everything in the world. For a while, they feel like they have fallen into a bottomless abyss and don't know what to do. The irony is that the more severe the smog of human nature becomes, the more people will have the feeling of everyone is sleeping but I am awake. But when a wave hits them, they will find that they have been drawn into the mud of a clever person who may become the victim of his own ingenuity, trapped in a prison, or have been abandoned by the times. One should get out of the smog of human nature. In the smog of human nature, you cannot tell goodness from evil, and cannot distinguish what is true from what is false. You reap beans from melon seeds, and reap melons from bean seeds. You can't see any light or hope. Those who are free and unrestrained are not celestial beings, but spirits and monsters. Those who are severely attacked are not devils but Buddhas. At this time, you must light up the sacred lamp that is in your heart, remain true to the bottom line of your human nature, and you must not go with the wave of the times. And do not trust the instigation and incitement from any information. Guard your own field, don't try to fish in troubled waters, and don't take any chances, because when the smog clears, the purity of the earth will be restored. All the muddy water will sink into the abyss. What belongs to the greatest creator will return to the greatest creator, and what belongs to Caesar will return to Caesar. A pure heart will suffer under the haze of human nature. The more you suffer, the more you should keep the sky of your soul clear. Reduce desire, restrain impulse, communicate more with Jesus, Shakyamuni, and Lao Tzu, and don't try to look for shortcuts. Don't worry. The more anxious, the more disorderly you are, the more you should let your impetuous mind calm down. Watch the development and evolution of the situation. Firmly believe that the sandstorm will pass, and believe that light will come after the darkness. Karma is the iron law of the universe. Don't focus on one thing, one time, or one life. What you give and what you receive is always equal. Those who do not want their faults to manifest themselves in the light should ensure that nothing amiss lurks in their darkest closets. Your elation today cannot avoid tomorrow's wretched circumstances. In this life, things may have occurred according to your wishes, but it will be difficult to protect your next life from being shackled and slaughtered. When competing in the time of a flintlight, what is a long time? When contending for the space as big as snails' horns, what is success? Remain undisturbed whether granted favor or subjected to humiliation. Watch leisurely flowers blooming and falling, with no intention to leave or stay, but follow the clouds scudding along. Push aside the smog of the world with no completion of flame and ice existing in your chest. Eliminate the contempt and parsimony in your heart, and the fragrance of flowers and chirping of birds will always appear. If your heart is luminous, there is a blue sky even in a dark room. If your thoughts are dark, there are ghosts even in the day. Between ignorance and cleverness, I stick to ignorance but remove cleverness, to leave some righteousness to return to the world. I'd rather refuse riotous profusion than choose indifference, to leave a clear name in the universe. Broken walls where foxes sleep, deserted platforms where rabbits walk on, all were places of singing and dancing in previous days. Yellow flowers covered with cold dew, withering grasses looming in the mist, all belong to the battlefield of the old times. Who won? Who lost? Who was complacent? Who was frustrated? Don't live in the present, but live in the future. When looking at the future, the mountains and rivers will be splendid, the weather will be favorable, the worthy person fully utilizes their talents, the whole world is as one family. Everywhere will be Xanadu, poetic and picturesque, and happy laughter and cheerful voices will always be overwhelming. The suffocatingly beautiful era that mankind dreams of is approaching all civilized people.